Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Let's put this up here. And welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And, gentlemen, we have a tragedy on our hands, a modern Shakespearean tragedy here, involving a once great head coach by the name of Bill Belichick. And this is the tragic story of Lady Jordan manipulating Mac Belichick. And if you have if you get the play on the play here on the little title, I'm equating this whole thing to the great Shakespearean play Macbeth. It was a great tragedy about how this great general who becomes this tyrannical king is manipulated by witches and by his wife, which ultimately became his downfall. And I think what Shakespeare was trying to tell you is never listen to chicks. They will destroy you. And here we are with Bill Belichick. And this is the story of a man who was the leader of men, won championship after championship. But even he can be manipulated and possessed by Poontang. Even he can. If it could happen to him, it could certainly happen to you. This is a great example. He was hired by the University of North Carolina to coach their football team. And this woman here, Jordan, what's her name? Jordan Hudson, his 24-year-old girlfriend, has caused so much chaos in this whole matter, which she has nothing to do with. This woman knows nothing about football. She really knows nothing about public relations. I was in public relations for years. She knows nothing about this. But because she looks like that, she has caused a whirlwind, a hurricane of destruction in the wake of this hire. And it should have been just, this football coach is looking to maybe add another championship to his resume, maybe call it quits after this and call it a career, and that's that. But no. Oh, no. This has become an absolute debacle. An absolute debacle to the point where, according to the New York Post, which we're using for informational purposes, the university has had to hire former Chicago Bears PR chief Brendan Faber to help navigate the swirling talks around Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend. This is what has happened to Bill Belichick, a man who was such a micromanager. He drove people crazy. He drove away Tom Brady. But he cannot control this woman. He can't control this girl. So a once powerful, influential man has now been manipulated and broken down by some coups. And we have to wonder if he is under the thumb of this woman. Now, reports are saying that Belichick's family, his children, I guess, are very, very worried about his condition right now. This woman might have brainwashed him. And listen, women will do that to you. They're witches. Read Macbeth. Look into the story of Macbeth. And if you don't know what the story of Macbeth is, I'll give you the quick crib notes. Macbeth was a great general. He won a big battle for his king in Scotland. And he ran into these three witches. And these three witches said that they proclaimed that he will be king one day. But his best buddy, I think his name was Banquo, that his lineage would be the lineage that would be king. So Banquo would not be king. Macbeth would be, but it would be like his lineage, his sons would be the next king. When Macbeth sent the letter to his wife stating this, his wife planned the murder of the king. She wanted to betray the king because she was power hungry. And Macbeth kills the king. And then, of course, he's worried about his friend taking power afterwards. So he eliminates his friend, and he eliminates his friend's family. He starts to go on a killing rampage to the point where the Scottish nobles don't trust him anymore. The Scottish nobles don't trust his wife, and they turn on him. And in the end, his wife commits suicide because she's a coward. The witches disappear, right? They give him all this crazy information that ends up coming true, but in a more of Oedipus Rex type thing, where he's told that he cannot be defeated by men of the womb, and the man that is the last fight at the end, he's fighting against Macduff, and you have to forgive me, I haven't read Macbeth in years, but Macduff is not born of the womb. He was ripped, in Shakespeare's words, he was ripped out of his mother prematurely, meaning he was born of cesarean section. So he wasn't born vaginally. So Macbeth can't defeat him, and Macbeth ultimately dies and is beheaded, and that's how the tragedy ends. But this whole thing started with these women influencing him. Witches, wives, they both start with the letter W, and they both will destroy you. And look at what is happening to Bill Belichick now. This is a guy who you couldn't breathe without his permission. And now they have to have Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated says that Faber is being hired by UNC rather than Belichick himself. His title is still to be determined, but his role will be the de facto head of football communications, which means that Belichick isn't allowed to talk. When you have a guy that's in charge of public relations, he is in charge of dealing with the media. So Belichick has basically been muted because of this woman. Pro Football Talk first reported UNC was in talks with Faber regarding a role before Page Six reported that Faber was alongside Belichick at a promotional event for the coach's new book. Hudson was not in attendance. UNC's hiring some PR help comes after the latest round of headlines surrounding Hudson on Friday, when former ESPNer Pablo Torre reported that the beauty queen was banned from North Carolina's football facilities. How much madness can this woman be spreading that she's been banned from the university facilities? What kind of cancer is this girl? And why is Belichick allowing this? Why can't she just listen? She's a good-looking girl. Keep her at home. We all saw that interview where Belichick was asked a question by a reporter, and she butts in and says, "We're not going to talk about that." Who are you? Why is he allowing this? I'll tell you why. Because the box is the root of all evil. Men from the beginning of time, Samson, Hamlet, men of in real life and in literature have all fallen for it. They've all fallen for it. And this guy, Bill Belichick, who is the highest paid public employee in the state of North Carolina, which most college football coaches are, is under the thumb of this witch. She has put a spell on him that he cannot break. Now, he is in his 70s. So he's probably thinking that this is the last hurrah for him, both with, well, maybe not with women, but professionally in football. You would think that he would be focused on winning a national championship, and that's that. But no, this girl has just created such a firestorm over there in North Carolina. And if they had known this, if the University of North Carolina had known this, and I'm starting to believe that the reason why this guy couldn't get a head coaching job in the NFL was not because he was a tyrant. It might have been because of this woman. The New York Post reports that while Jordan Hudson is not an employee of the university or Carolina Athletics, she is welcome to Carolina. She is welcome to the football facilities. Jordan will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand, that's a mistake number one. Outside of his responsibilities from Carolina football and the university, a UNC athletic department statement. Belichick and Hudson's relationship has been polarizing since its inception. The drama of it all hit the fan when Belichick's recent CBS Sunday Morning interview, during which Hudson awkwardly intervened and cut off the reporter's question about how the couple met, saying, "We're not talking about this." Now, supposedly, I read somewhere that they met 4 years ago. So she was 19, 20 years old when they met. Now, listen, good for him. All these people who say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? When you're 70 years old and you have a 25-year-old piece of ass like this wanting to straddle you, you're not going to be so virtuous either. But you must maintain your dignity." And he's just not doing that. He's letting this chick run all over him. She's ruining his professional life, his professional reputation. There she was in the background there. And listen, she is smoking hot. No one is going to deny that. And she's probably loads and tons of fun in the bedroom. This is hump extreme here. But look at her. She's wearing a Super Bowl ring. And how did Belichick allow this? I mean, I keep asking the same question, but is Poontang that strong? Is it that much of a power that a man of this substance, a legendary head coach, can fall under the spell of a witch? And let me tell you, all women are witches. All of them. Your mother was too, believe me. Look, one day, just when you're all alone, sit back and analyze what your mom may have done to you. She may have said it was out of love, but a lot of times, more times than not, mothers ruin their sons. This woman here is trying to control his brand, which is how he makes his money, which is his legacy. Forget about, he'll always have the rings, he'll always have he'll be in the Hall of Fame and all that good stuff. But people will remember him not for the big wins against the Rams, or the big win against Atlanta, or the crazy win against Seattle. They're going to remember this if things get too crazy. And things have gotten out of control that UNC has to hire an outside person to handle Belichick's public relations, and Belichick is silent now. And he is under the thumb of this gold digger, and there are reports that his family is now worried about this. And sooner or later, we're going to hear about money. We're going to hear about it. And God forbid he gets this woman pregnant, forget about it. Then it's really over. Then he loses 50% of everything. If he hasn't lost 50% of his worth already from his ex-wife. It's hard. It's easier to say than done, but you have to get rid of cancer like this. That is a cancer. And listen, it looks good. It feels good. It tastes good. But so does McDonald's. And if you have too much of it, it kills you. This will kill you. This will destroy you and destroy your legacy. And Belichick has to figure that out. If he hasn't already, because, oh boy. Supposedly they met 4 years ago. Now their past is a mystery, and I don't know why. But I have a feeling this is one of the reasons why he couldn't get a job last year in the NFL, because people were probably, these NFL owners, they don't want controversy. And they don't want some coos running around telling them how to run their business and how to distract their head coach. They want to win. They want to win now. This woman here is the wrench. This is a story. This is a tragedy, a modern day tragedy. It's a Shakespearean tragedy. It's a biblical tragedy because this once great guy, who next year, listen, North Carolina may dominate what are they in the ACC? They may dominate, or or he may be so distracted by this chick that they're just not the same. The concerning part is the fact that his family is very, very, very concerned about this. And if he's smart, if he's conservative, and if he keeps his manhood, if he keeps his dignity, he will separate her from anything and everything that has to do with his money and his legacy, because that's what she's there for. If Bill Belichick was a plumber, she wouldn't even notice him. She notices him because he's a head football coach and he makes $10 million a year. And he probably has another 70 or 80 million in the bank. And he's got those big rings on. That's why she notices him. And she'll move on to the next guy. Once it's over with him, she'll move on to the next guy. She'll find another one, because there always is another one. Because those looks for the next 10 years, 10, 12 years, those looks will get her anything she wants. That car, that building, that house, that boat, jewelry, whatever. All she has to do is look like that, and she will get whatever she wants. He's given her everything. She's probably got whatever she wants now. But at what price to Belichick's legacy? McBelichick is a tragic figure right now. He's being mocked. People are laughing at him because he's allowing this woman to ruin him. And the Stoics had something to say about this. Philosophers had something to say about this. Shakespeare had something to say about this. All great historians and literature writers had something to say about this, because it always comes down to being possessed by a witch. Because this woman, that's what she is. She's hypnotized and brainwashed this man to the point where he doesn't know what to do with himself. He can't function anymore. Everything about his time now at UNC revolves around this woman. And if they had known this, I don't think they would have hired him. It's too much of a pain in the ass. This woman is probably hell to pay. All women have hell with them. Some of them, they kind of keep it under wraps a little bit. But this woman here, this is Lilith. This is Eve. This is Delilah. This is a cancer. And gentlemen, you have to stay away from women like this. I know it's hard. Trust me. She comes wiggling over to you. I'm not going to tell you that I have the self-control to say no, but she will take everything from you, and you won't know it until it's too late. And she's picking apart, little by little, pick, at Belichick's legacy. More importantly, his dignity. Because his family now. Can you imagine being the son of Bill Belichick and seeing this little coos monster dragging your dad around like a little puppy dog? It's terrible. It's terrible. And this is a tragedy, and we'll keep our tabs on this. We'll see what's going on with this. But for Belichick, the best thing for him to do would be to the football season can't come soon enough for him. Now, I think they have spring. Oh geez. Oh my God. Why can't I think of this? I'm so involved in football that I can't believe that I can't think of what they call them. but they're like basically like oh my god, oh forget it. They usually get the teams usually get together to run run plays and scrimmages. That's what I'm thinking. Spring scrimmages. Um, and maybe that will keep this broad at bay. But again, if she's in charge of his brand, who knows how much money she's going to milk from him? I mean, is pussy that important? I mean, at his age, he's probably staring death in the face right now. I mean, that's you're in your 70s, but it's all about dignity, gentlemen. You must always think about how you carry yourself, how people see you. And if you are being led around by a 24-year-old zero, somebody who has accomplished nothing in her life yet except destruction, people are going to look at you like an old fool. And they're looking at Belichick right now as an old fool. And his family, his children, worst of all, his children are embarrassed by this because they see their dad as being manipulated. And that's something that's got to stop. And if his son, his oldest son, or one of his sons, is man enough, they'll put a stop to this. If he can't, because I don't think he's man enough to do this. I mean, he's just hypnotized by that tale. I don't think he'll be able to until it's too late. I don't think he'll be able to recover from this. But that's a talking point for today. Let's get to our man memo. And the man memo is about your dignity. It's sacred. You have to guard it at all costs. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. We're not asking they're not asking us to be, these stone walls that just stare out into the darkness. It's about understanding what deserves your energy and what doesn't. And this woman is sapping his professional energy and his private energy. I'm sure she's a vapid bitch. Oh God, she must be awful. And the way you present yourself deserves your energy. Diving into what it means to present yourself with dignity in relationships. Have you sometimes gone to great lengths to impress somebody only to lose sight of who you truly are? We change the way we dress and speak, all in hopes of gaining their approval. Sometimes it happens without us even knowing, right? Maybe you're a bar guy. You like to go to bars. You like to go to sports bars, watch football or baseball. I love to watch baseball in bars. Nachos and beer. Now you meet some broad and she's like, I don't want to do that. I want to go to wineries. I want to go to cafes. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't want you wearing a t-shirt. I want you to wear a button down. I don't want you to fix your hair the way you normally do. I want you to do this way. I want you to grow a beard. I don't want you to grow a beard. They do these things. And to appease women, to appease people sometimes, we change who we are, or at least who we think we are at the time. But here's where our calm and wise perspective comes in. Self-respect isn't tied to clothing or hanging out in trendy spots or the car we drive. It's about how you present yourself. The things you do and the decisions you make are massive signs of dignity and self-respect. The one who is genuine and comfortable in their own skin highlights the importance of presenting themselves with dignity. The Stoics, known for their philosophy of self-control and virtue, emphasize the significance of living honestly and respecting oneself. If you don't respect yourself, no one will respect you. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. So how does this apply to women today? How does this apply to dating? It's about being authentically yourself. If you adore diving into books, embrace it. If you love wrestling, then that's great. I mean, it's not for everybody, but don't change because somebody says, "Ah, your wrestling is fake. Why are you watching this crap?" It's what you like. If you have a strong passion for something, let it show. This is where the manosphere and the red pill get it wrong because they're asking you to be something that you're not. And when you're acting like something that you're not, you're suppressing yourself from growing. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about feeling at ease and self-assured in who you are. Understanding that you are valuable just as you are. This is not to say that we don't grow and evolve. We don't create. That we stop creating and developing. We always have our purpose. But sometimes we have little idiosyncrasies that separate us from everybody else. I love to draw. I love to write. I like, I like to read plays. I like to read books on philosophy and stoicism. A lot of people look at me like I have three heads when I tell them these things, but I don't care. That's me. That's what makes me happy. And treating yourself with respect is your top priority. The way you treat yourself establishes the bar of how others will treat you. First and foremost, you must love yourself before you can love anybody. You must respect yourself before you can respect anybody, and anybody's going to respect you. If you're always criticizing yourself or putting yourself down, mocking your looks or your personality, you're essentially giving the world a free pass to do the same. And you don't want that. You don't want to be a puff. However, when you respect yourself, when you value your time and your energy and your emotions, you're making a bold statement. You're expressing to the world, I deserve respect and I expect to be treated accordingly. Remember what Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In relationships, it's not only about your appearance, it's about your responses, your demeanor in various situations. Are you reacting with desperation or dignity? Are you sacrificing your principles to blend in, or are you staying true to yourself? It may mean you'll have to be alone, and standing alone is not for the weak. The strong man is the man that stands alone. The eagle flies not with a flock, but on its own. And at first, it's normal to be scared, to feel unpleasant. We're all human with our flaws and awkward times. People will point at you, people will, whisper, but they're the weak ones because they need the flock. You're the eagle, you soar alone, and you soar higher. What matters is how you deal with these moments. Do you fall apart under pressure or do you stay strong? We learn and we keep moving forward. Many people, many people that you know, they're stagnant. They're just floating in the sea. They don't care. And that's good for them. Maybe they're happy that way. Not us. We develop, we create, we have habits, positive habits that lead to focus, to lead to our purpose, and ultimately to our evolution, our evolving as better men. Take a moment to reflect on how we begin to show ourselves with more dignity. Maybe setting clear boundaries or refusing things that don't match our values. Don't say yes to everything. You don't have to. Stop trying to be the hero. If you have children like I do, and they're older now, they're gonna, especially if you were a parent like me that raised three kids practically on his own, not practically on my own. It's very hard for me to say, "Hey, listen, I got work to do at home." I need time to write. I need time to read. I need time to drill. I need time to focus on my podcast. I can't be there for you all the time. Believe me, that was very, very difficult a year or two ago. But I realized that other people, they move on from you. And then when they call you, they only calling you because you're like the last resort. You're the old reliable. You don't want to be an old reliable. You have to set boundaries and you have to match your values. It might also mean treating ourselves with more compassion. Stop beating yourself up. Don't feel guilty. You have to practice more patience with yourself. Don't dwell on fears of failure. The habit of evolution will blossom and a whole new and lasting respect will develop for yourself. When you view yourself as worthy of respect, just like a superpower, others will begin to see it too. And that's the memo. All right. So let's pray for Billy that things work out for him. Listen, he's still going to make 10 million bucks a year. Good for him. And he's still going to spank that fanny. But at what price? At what price is it going to ruin his legacy and his dignity? All right. So thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And gentlemen, be careful out there. Those witches and Satan is always busy, and he's got a legion of witches that are trying to destroy you. Be a man. Have a backbone. Dignity. Because masculinity and common sense are worth standing for. Worth standing up for. We'll see you later.